Welcome, students, to another episode of Manhood Academy Podcasting. It's me and the Boggles, and we're starting.
That's right.
Pilot and co-pilot. Oh, we got somebody to interrupt us already. It's already Travo.
Our love session has been interrupted by Travis.
Yep. The class has been interrupted by Travis.
With his
What's that?
Well, when you posted the links on the chat room.
Posted the wrong
Oh, fuck! What?
I was the only guy who was able to figure it out first, and I was in here.
What?
Yeah.
I posted the link.
You posted the podcast link.
Yeah.
The topic link.
And?
It goes to podcasting topics.
Oh, wrong one. No wonder why everybody can't get it. They're like, I can't get into class.
Yeah. And then I just went to orientation by myself and figured it out.
Yeah, it's the only smart guy in here. Okay, orientation. Since the students are retarded, I'm going to have to go to orientation. I'm going to have to click the link for class. I'm going to have to copy. And not only copy and paste it, I'm going to have to delete the old link, otherwise people are going to be clicking on it forever. Why isn't this link working, bro? This link's not working, bro. Alright, students, never fear. Class is on, even for the people who couldn't figure out that the class is always posted in orientation. Like Zenik, who kept clicking on the podcasting topic, thinking it would magically change to the orientation section.
That's what I did.
He's like, there's no class link. There's no class link, man. So Zenik went back to the chat room, clicked it again, and thought it would change. He went back to podcasting topics. He's like, I'm just clicking it wrong. I must be pressing it wrong. So he went back into the chat again and clicked it for a third time. Took him back to podcasting topics. And finally he figured out, you know what? Why don't I just go to orientation myself? Paperclip kept doing it for 20 times in a row. Don't feel bad, Zenik. Paperclip kept clicking that link and going back to the same podcasting topics until he finally figured out, orientation section. That's a test. Next time I'm just going to post tests. I'm going to post math problems. And the answer will be, that's it, to find out who gets in the class. I'm going to post, that is a genius idea. Boggles.
Yeah.
I just figured out a genius idea, how to weed out the class members.
Just post the wrong link. And
No, I'm going to post questions from the ebook, or I'm going to ask questions related to ebook content, and the correct answer will take you to a certain page, and I'll put the link on just something on Imager, so it won't even be on the forum. They're going to have to hunt for it.
I love that. That way people are active, they'll read the ebook, they know the concepts.
Yeah, if they don't know the concept, they can't even get into class.
That's right.
I support that.
But then the people that need class.
They won't even the people that need class the most, they won't even be able to get into class. Oh, that's a hole in the plan.
Yeah.
Trevor just punched a hole in the plan.
Trevor just deflated the balloon.
He deflated it. All right, so we're on EM report. Did we finish off this guy's EM report? Collegiato's EM report?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing was huge.
It took 2 podcasts.
Yeah, I think we finally got through. Okay, so let's delete this right here. Boom. We're out of this one. Closing that. Delete, yes. Now we're on to, new link. Let's see what this is. Surprise, surprise.
Dun, dun, dun.
Open. 18. Whoa. It looks like a lot of wrong, ending with dunce cap, wrong, and then a suicide note at the end. Oh, wow. It looks like a lot of fail to cover. Okay, let's do it. Let's get to this fail. Let's finish it. Alright, A-Team, I've been trying to break out of the... Zenik, you read this since your reading skills have improved so much.
Okay. I've been trying to break out of the lack of authority shell I get stuck with in my relationships all the time. I am friends with benefits with this girl who thinks that I am the sweet guy type. She usually leads the conversation, and no matter how much she punishes me or annoys me, which she does a lot because she tends to ramble on, I just reward her pathetically. I have turned her down once before. Yes?
Keep going, I was commenting.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I have turned her down once before, but she's always been interested in me since. I'm calling her Queen because she's a queen of drama. Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end. I thought I was doing good.
Well, how does an expectation management fail, Zenik?
You fail to punish and reward properly.
I failed to understand the sentence. What does this mean? Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end. What does that mean, Travo?
It means he failed to manage his expectations.
No, it means he failed to use the term expectation management correctly. What is... MFer, do you understand the sentence? Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end.
It means he failed to manage his expectations.
It means he failed to write the sentence correctly. Hey, Shy Willie. Shy Willie.
Yes.
Do you Can you speak up, Shy Willie?
Yeah.
Louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Microphone volume, or get closer to the mic.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's too muffled. Speak up, or get closer to the mic.
Are you outside?
Shy Willie, are you in a wind tunnel? Get closer to the mic.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Shy Willie, are you there? Over. It's me, Professor Plum. Over.
Roger, I'm here.
Can you speak up? Over. Or are you going to try speaking in the same tone 10 times in a row? Over.
I'm trying to speak up.
Why are you speaking in the same tone then? Over.
I don't know.
It sounds like you're at least closer to the microphone. Over. So you've improved distance. You haven't improved volume of your voice, but you've improved the distance of your voice to the microphone. Over.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Over.
I don't know, man.
Shy Willie, what does this sentence mean to you? Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end. Over.
It means that he failed to get his expectations
It means that he failed to write the sentence correctly. Travo, what does this mean to you? Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end. Over.
It means that he's way too vague when he writes sentences. He needs to be more specific.
How should he reword the sentence so it makes sense? Over.
I don't know.
Zenik, how would you rewrite the sentence so it makes sense?
I have no idea, because I'm not even sure what he means in the first place.
Boggles, how would you rewrite the sentence so it makes sense?
I failed to get my expectations
Speak up,
met.
Boggles, can't hear you.
I failed to get my expectations met right from the
Boggles, is your microphone off?
No, I can hear him.
Can you hear me now, Plum?
I can hear you, but it sounds like you're far away down the hall.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I failed to get my expectations met right from the beginning.
I failed to get my expectations met right from the beginning. Yeah, that's better.
End, it doesn't start. It's always
I'm
from the
so
beginning.
bothered that people just throw out terms like expectation management. Like they're saying, he might as well say, unfortunately,
Astronautical physics.
my superpowers failed in the end. Or unfortunately, black diamond management failed in the end. What is this expectation management like it's a brand name?
It's some voodoo power of it.
Yeah, he's talking about voodoo power. Expectation management like it's voodoo power. What is expectation management?
Getting your expectations met or not met.
It is managing your expectations. What does it mean to manage your expectations?
It's giving negative
Punishing
incentive when necessary. And giving positive incentive
everyone. Rewarding and punishing to
when
get
expectations are met.
Let's look up manage. Let's take a trip over to the
Yeah,
dictionary.
let's go to... I don't know the meaning of management.
Let's go to dictionary.com.
Managing things.
Manage. M-A-N-A-G-E. Search. Manage. Verb. To bring about or succeed in accomplishing. Sometimes despite difficulty or hardship. To bring about or succeed in accomplishing. To take charge of or care of. To manage my investments. To dominate or to influence by tact, flattery, or artifice. He manages the child with exemplary skill. To handle, to direct, to govern, to control, in action or use. She managed the boat efficiently. Scratch that. He managed the boat efficiently. To handle, to direct, to govern, to control, in action or in use. Does everybody understand the term manage now?
Kinda.
What do you mean, kinda?
To handle. I mean, I'm handling my expectations.
To direct your expectations, to govern your expectations, to control them in action or in
I'm
use?
directing my expectations. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Alright.
To direct how they're handled?
Okay. To direct how my expectations are handled.
What does management involve?
Accountability. It involves being accountable for what you're doing.
What does management involve?
Thank you, but that's an incomplete answer. What does management involve, Travo?
It involves taking control of the situation.
Okay. That's a start. Zenik, what's management involve?
I don't have anything else to add.
You should have something to add. MFR has something to add. What's management involved?
Management involves the use of authority.
Okay, well, we're getting someplace.
Bringing order to a situation.
Shy Willie,
Yeah.
you opened a lemonade stand on the corner. You're the manager involved in management of the lemonade stand, which needs to be managed. Shy Willie, are you there? Over.
Yeah.
What does management involve?
It involves leading. I don't know.
Travo, you are opening up a lemonade stand on the corner to sell lemonade, to make money so you don't end up on the street homeless. You are the manager of the lemonade stand. You are going to be managing the lemonade stand. The lemonade stand will be managed by you. What does the management involve?
The management would involve me taking in people's money and then I'd give them the lemonade, and then I'd set it all up, I'd advertise it, and basically I'd be in control of everything that had to do with the lemonade stand.
Yes.
If I had employees, I would pay them and tell them what to do, and I'd tell them what to do if they were selling the lemonade or how to take in the money.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Zenik, anything else he missed?
I don't know.
You don't know? You've never managed a lemonade stand before?
I guess I have, but I mean...
You guess you have or you haven't?
Well, I have, but if I had to think about it, I mean, all I can really say is that, and this is kind of general, I just want to say that when you're managing a lemonade stand, you basically have to make sure the needs of everyone who is involved with that lemonade stand is met, and that includes customers, employees, everything.
Okay. How does that happen? What do you have to do? Boggles, you open a lemonade stand on the corner. You're selling lemonade. You're the manager. The lemonade stand will be managed by you. What do you need to do to manage it properly?
I have to be responsible for the
Hold on, Travis, stop making noises.
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
I have to be responsible for making sure the lemonade stand is functioning and I'm able to run the business. So I have to make sure I have my inventory. I make sure I advertise and I'm able to run transactions so I can get money and sell my lemonade. So there's a lot of responsibility and accountability involved in managing the lemonade stand successfully.
What's that involve?
Resources.
Got that. Paperclip, you're opening up a lemonade stand on the corner. You will be the manager. The lemonade stand will be managed by you. How will you manage the lemonade stand?
I will manage my lemonade stand by making sure that there are consequences when the rules of my lemonade stand are not followed. And I will make sure that at the same time, I will make sure that as long as they're meeting my expectations, they will be rewarded with positive incentive, which that would be getting paid. And if they don't meet any of my expectations, then I make sure to punish them for it.
That is probably the best answer given of all the managers here. The other managers have failed because all they have said they're going to do is hopefully just make sure the lemonade flows out. But they haven't even thought about what happens if there's problems, if they have problem customers or problem employees. They don't have any contingency for that because they're bad managers.
Yeah, I thought I would be managing the stand by myself.
Yeah, he thought that just everything would just happen perfectly.
No employees. Like I just sit there.
Oh, even if you have no employees. What if you have customers that want to argue with, haggle with you? What if customers want to steal your lemonade?
Did not think about that as usual.
Yeah, you did not think about that because you're a bad manager.
Yes.
The good manager does two things, Travis. What do they do?
The good manager punishes when they don't want the person to do something, and then they reward them when they're doing something that they like or that they expect of them.
There you go. Very simple. Now do you know how to manage a lemonade stand, Zenik?
Yes.
Yes. What's wrong with this sentence? Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end.
Who are you asking?
Zenik,
Okay.
who was thinking for an hour. What's wrong with the sentence? Paperclip. Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end.
Well, it's not that the expectation management failed. He failed.
Yeah! The paperclip's a genius. Expectation management isn't anything. What does expectation management mean?
Him enforcing his expectations.
Yeah, so how should he be using? How should he be wording it?
God.
Well,
How would you word the sentence to make it accurate or to make it make sense?
who are you asking?
You.
Okay. I would say, instead of saying that, I would say that, unfortunately, I failed to give any negative incentive when enforcing my expectations. And instead, I was just giving positive incentive.
You're sure he was just giving positive incentive at the right times?
No, he wasn't giving positive. Well, he was giving positive at the wrong time, too. At times when he should be giving negative incentive.
He was giving positive at the wrong times. Positive what? Positive neutrons, positive protons, positive ions?
Incentive.
Travel, how would you word the sentence so it makes sense?
I would say I failed at managing my expectations.
That sounds perfect to me. I failed at managing my expectations. Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end. That doesn't make sense. It means you don't even understand what you're talking about. The ebook terms aren't just there just to, so you could throw them out.
I mean, like, when he says that, it almost sounds like
Yeah, it sounds like
concept.
expectation management is this like special method. Unfortunately, mystery method failed in the end.
Yeah. Like something separate from him.
Expectation management just describes what you're doing. You're managing your expectations. Your EM report, your expectation management report, just describes how you're managing your expectations. It is not a thing. It is not an entity. This is the way people commonly misuse science. They say, science proves that. Science has the answer to that. Science is this. What is wrong with that term, Zenik?
It's wrong because science isn't an entity in itself. Science is only good as the person who's using it.
Science isn't even that. Science describes really like the way you're doing things. Like if you're using the scientific method. Because all science, quote, quote, science, the concept of science is derived from the scientific method. What's the scientific method?
It's a method.
Motherfucker. It's a thing, bro. It's a method. Scientific method. Let's educate people today since nobody knows what the fuck science is. Oh, bro, I got science. I got science facts, bro. You ever heard of a science fact?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Scientifically proven.
MFer, what's a science fact?
well, I've actually never heard that term before, but I'm assuming that it's...
Well, let's see if there's even such a term. Let's Google it. Science fact.
I think I see this somewhere. Some factoid page.
Or anybody know a scientific fact? Top 20 amazing science facts. Fun science facts. Science fact and science fiction. Science facts. Science fact, oblong industry. Science fact or fiction?
It's a
NASA.
fact, right?
Science fact or fiction? Science fiction or science fact?
Why
By NASA,
science
by the
fact?
government. Okay, this is a government site. NASA. Science fact or science fiction?
So the
Science
government is failing too.
It's
Science
a fiction.
fact. Analog. Science. Science facts. Interesting.
Facebook.
Interesting, funny. Science. Fun facts.
I just
Teaching
thought
science fact with science fiction. All right, hold on a second. Let's see scientific fact. SCIENtific. TIFIC. Scientific fact. Scholarly inquiry regarding scientific fact. Scientific fact. Part of speech. Definition. Any observer. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Scientific fact. Definition of scientific. What does scientific fact mean, right? Okay. So let's look up the scientific method. Scientific method. Why the fuck are we looking on Wikipedia? This is the worst source. Scientific method refers to biotechniques of investigating phenomena. Okay. This is somewhat close. Scientific method. The scientific method refers to a body of techniques for investigating phenomenon, acquiring knowledge or correcting and integrating previous knowledge. To be termed scientific, a method of inquiry must be based on gathering empirical and measurable evidence subject to specific principles of reasoning. Okay, so let's just skip to the chase here. Use your experience. Okay, so you do something and you're sitting under an apple tree, apple falls on your head and bonks you on your head. So you have some experience. What do you think? What do you think about that apple falling on your head, Zenik?
I think that there must be a reason that the apple fell on
Right,
my head.
so you're coming up with what's known as a scientific rhymes with hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Yes, a hypothesis. What's a hypothesis?
An educated guess.
Yeah, just a guess. I think this happens because of this. fancy word for educated guess,
Probable reason.
right? So now we got to do the scientific method to figure out. We have to perform. We have to find a conclusion using the scientific method. So we have a problem. We're trying to figure out something. We're making a guess about something. We're having some experiences with something with this apple. Falls on our head, bonks us. Now we go, oh, I got a bonk on the head from the apple. I think that happened because. That's called our hypothesis, right? Our guess. We're trying to prove it or disprove it. Make sense, Shy Willie? Yep. Sweet. Okay, so we're making a guess. Now what do we need to do to verify if our guess is right or not, Travo?
We need to think of an experiment.
Yeah, we need to experiment. So we need to find out why this thing is falling. So we develop all these experiments. What happens after we get enough experiments? What do we do with that? MFer?
You gather the data.
Yeah, we just collect all the data, whatever all the experiments, results of those experiments were, we gather all that together. And then what do we do when we get all that data gathered together? Paperclip?
Then you form a conclusion.
Yeah, then we get a conclusion. And now, we have a quote, scientific conclusion.
Anybody can do this.
Let me ask you a question. Who is a scientist in this room?
Me. I'm a scientist.
Shy Willie, are you a scientist?
Yeah.
Yeah. MF, are you a scientist?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, I am.
What? I can't hear you.
Yes, I am.
How do you know you're a scientist? You're not wearing a white lab coat.
Because scientific method doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in a lab or anything. It's just the process of deducing something from whatever experiment you're doing. An experiment doesn't have to be like biology related or chemistry related. You can repeat things.
Can you think of any scientific inquiry you've done in the past or recently?
Well, I was trying to cook chicken so that it is heated evenly without the outside burning up. So I would devise different ways of cutting the chicken so that it heats up.
Right, so you're making different tests. I wonder if I could cook this chicken the right way. I bet I could cook it the right way if I do this. Or if I make this cut. There's got to be a way to cook it. But one of these things is your hypothesis. So you try different experiments. You start cutting the chickens horizontally, vertically, down the middle, thin it out, etc. You gather the data, and then you figure out, oh, this is the way I wanted it done. It meets my hypothesis, or this proves or disproves what I was thinking that would cook the chicken the way I like it. Here's my conclusion. This is the way to cut it. So what did you conclude about that? What's the proper way to cut your chicken?
It's better to cut it down the middle.
Cut it down the middle. Why did you cut it down the middle? What was your other experiment?
My other tries were cutting into pieces, but the thickness still prevented the heat from warming up the center evenly.
So it doesn't matter if you cut it into pieces. What matters is you have to cut it down the middle to get to that center part.
Yeah.
Okay, so you figured this out by using scientific inquiry, correct?
Yeah.
You just drew experiments. Now, the only difference between you, supposedly, and a guy in a white lab coat is he might actually record the heat, or he might actually record the depth of the cut with an actual measurement. So the only difference between your scientific method and his scientific method is what, Zenik?
Detail.
Detail. The degree of accuracy, right?
Yep.
He's somewhat accurate. He's being informal because it's not a huge important thing to him. He doesn't care if it's 2 inches or 2.5 inches where he's cutting the depth. He just knows he has to get around a certain depth. So he's not being that accurate. But is he following the scientific method?
Yes.
Yes. Let me ask you another question. We got a black chick, Letitia. Okay? Letitia thinks there's aliens. Okay? Letitia was watching Oprah Winfrey talk about aliens and Area 51, and Letitia got into her head, I bet there's aliens. Letitia watches the night sky. She sees a helicopter, but she's too retarded to know it's a helicopter. Then she sees blinking lights on an airplane. She thinks it's an alien, but she's too retarded to know it's an airplane flying overhead. Then she goes and visits another country and sees the aurora borealis effect where, she sees glowing lights in the air because of ionized whatever. I don't know what the effect is, but there's some phenomenon, right, that has glowing lights in the air. She says, aliens. Then she sees some dude running in the distance with a flashlight on his head, doing a prank, and she sees, that's got to be a low-flying alien. And Letitia comes to the conclusion, there's aliens. See, I've seen them. Is Letitia a scientist?
A retarded scientist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. How do you know she's a scientist?
He followed a process.
Yeah, she followed her own process, right? She drew a scientific conclusion. Is it accurate?
No.
No.
Is it scientific?
Yes.
Yes, it is scientific. It's just not right. Are there scientists with white lab coats who draw bad conclusions?
Yes.
Just as bad as Letitia, right? They're wrong. Right? Letitia's no different. You may laugh now, oh, aliens, obviously it seems obvious that's silly. She's just retarded. She doesn't understand an airplane is not an alien. But scientists have made similar blunders along the same vein. We record their results in our thread and about the our science thread in the visitor section. The same thing applies. So you have to understand that everybody's a scientist. The only difference between you and a white lab coat guy, supposedly, is the degree of accuracy that you're willing to go to, or the degree of accuracy you're willing to investigate. The methods you're willing to use to become more accurate. Are you going to use your hand as a measure and eyeball it and say my hand is about 5 inches, or are you going to take a ruler which has more exacting measurements? How close are you willing to get to the more accurate answer? That determines how competent you are as a scientist, or how well devised your experiment is. Does it take into account all the variables, or do you leave some variables out, or do you not care about how other variables are affecting your experiment? A lot of scientists, they record data, right? They say, this pie, if I leave it on the windowsill, it'll cool in 10 minutes. That's my hypothesis. So I leave it on the windowsill. And then I make another experiment. I leave the pie by the kitchen table. The pie on the windowsill cools in 20 minutes. Right? I take the temperature. It's at 0. Or it's at, I don't know, whatever, 32 degrees, right? The pie on my table cools in 10 minutes. It's at 32 degrees. Is it accurate to say that the pie, that putting pies by the windowsill will cool them faster? Is it accurate to say that the pie at the windowsill will cool faster than putting the pie on my table? Shy Willie.
Yes, it is.
Is it accurate to say the pie at the windowsill will cool faster than the pie at the table? MFer.
Based on your data, it's not.
Paperclip. Is it accurate?
Yes.
Mr. Care Bear?
Yes.
Bogler?
Yes, if it did cool earlier, it is correct.
Zenik?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because you're not taking into account all the factors. I mean, just placing a pie on the windowsill is sort of an arbitrary motion. You don't consider the other things. I mean, there could be a snowstorm outside, right? And if
Yeah,
there's a
there could
snowstorm
be.
outside,
You could be living on Mars. It could be a super hot day. It could be in the Mojave Desert. The sun could be beaming on your pie and actually heating it hotter. There's so many other factors affecting it. There's wind. You know, it could be cooler in your by your table. There could be like ice cubes by your table. There could be the air conditioning could be on. There's all kinds of factors that are affecting your experiments. So maybe according to your data, it might be accurate, but overall, it might be inaccurate.
Well, in that controlled environment, it's accurate.
Yeah.
In what controlled environment?
In that particular situation.
In what controlled environment?
No, and I say in the environment you're in, where you're in the house, you have windowsill, you have the table, you have limited. You have given us limited information to form a conclusion.
Yeah,
You're the one who made the conclusion, though.
Pardon?
Yeah, but the conclusion is to a certain degree because of the limitations to it, since we're not taking into account the wind or the heat inside the house.
Right, that's my point. You're not taking into account those things, but those things are affecting your pie.
You have to include all those factors if you want to be detailed about that.
Is it very easy to include all those factors?
No, it's easy to skip a lot of those factors.
Yeah, it's very easy to skip all those factors. That's the problem with a lot of experiments is they don't take into account all the factors. They only think, oh, there's only 10 factors here that I have to worry about. I can make an easy control experiment.
I don't trust scientists.
There's so many medicines, there's so many things developed that are just taking into account a certain amount of factors. There's an assumption that only this amount of factors apply. And then later on down the road, oh, we forgot this super important factor. Oh, that changes the whole nature of the experiment. Oh, that changes the whole nature of the policy we developed, the social policy around vaccinations or the way we do, we administer this medicine, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's a good idea to do bloodletting with leeches. Oh, now it's not a good idea. Well, which is it? Oh, it's a good idea to amputate. Oh, it's not a good idea to amputate. Well, which is it?
Oh, vaccinations are good. Oh, vaccinations are bad.
Right? We have all kinds of conflicting information in the scientific field because everybody's a scientist. The problem is when we indoctrinate scientists and we make them like priests. We make them infallible. There's a guy right now, Neil deGrasse Tyson? Neil Tyson deGrasse? very popular astrophysicist right now, in the line with like Stephen Hawking and Richard Dawkins, all revered scientists. But once you give somebody that added credibility, that added special label, that added a white lab coat, you put a stethoscope around their neck, all of a sudden you've created a fallacy, you've created an authority fallacy. This guy, because he's revered, that equals his conclusions are infallible. This is the problem. This is bad science if you want to be correct. Everybody's a scientist. Do not discount your ability to be a scientist. If you are just looking to other people to say, hey, this guy said so, he's an important guy, he's a well-respected guy, obviously he has to be right, you're a bad scientist. Be a good scientist. Your data is valuable. Do not discount your own ability to conduct experiments, to investigate. Everybody is a scientist. The only difference is how far are you willing to go to get accurate results. Okay, so back to where we left off. Unfortunately, this expectation management failed. Okay, yes?
You said do not discount your abilities to what?
To be a scientist, to conduct experiments, to come to your own conclusions, to verify things. This is what we call peer review. Just because Dr. Ladice and I wrote the ebook doesn't mean that you shouldn't check the ebook, MFer. Just because Professor Plum is leading the class, created Manhood Academy, and Dr. Ladice helped make an accurate book for you, which you're learning from, does that mean you should accept every conclusion in the book? MFer.
Oh, no, you shouldn't. Or I shouldn't.
Why not?
Because you're just basing this off your data. I need to double check.
Yeah, you need to double check. I need some peer review. You need to do some testing of what I said should happen. My predictions, right? For your social success. I'm making predictions. You need to verify that. You know how I verify my conclusions? Through you students. When Horton goes and says, hey, I thought if I gave my wife limits, she would resent me. But the opposite happened. Now she's actually more sexually active. This verifies my conclusions. I've had the same experience. Now I need more people to have similar experiences to verify what we're speaking about in the ebook. It can't just be like 2% of the people or 2% of the students that have experiences and the rest say, oh no, I realize that if you're equal in a relationship and we don't try to lead the other person, we don't try to lead women, but we just kind of 50% decision making, we just flip a coin to see who decides on what we do, that it works just as well. Because there are people that say that. There are many people that say that to me. That's wrong. My relationship works when there's 50%. What do I need to do?
They need to keep trying what they're saying until it finally fails.
Nope. What's the problem, Zenick? They say, hey, I have a relationship, it's 50%. Everything's fine with us. Your book is wrong.
They need to try your method to see if it works better.
Well, what's the problem with their scientific inquiry?
It's not accurate.
Why not? Travo? Or okay, Boggles?
If they say their relationship is good, they're not really being so specific. Like, it could be good to them, but to someone else it'd be...
Right, they don't even have a reference point for good yet. That may not be my version of good. Their version of good may be sex once a month and fights the rest of the time. And if their reference point is, I've never had sex before and I fight year-round, then by comparison, sex once a month and fights every now and then is good.
What a champion.
Right? So when they're talking to me about, hey, that's wrong, my relationship works, it's good, they have no idea, they have no clue, they can't even fathom that it could be better than that, because they have no reference point for better than that. So I can't just automatically say, oh, this person's right. Obviously they just said that it doesn't work, that everything should be 50-50 in a relationship. Ebook's got to be wrong. Better just throw it away.
Yeah, but a person like that who analyzes, who doesn't have a reference point would keep being deluded. He would keep thinking his way is good.
Yes, that's why we need...
Consider that if the ebook could make it better. What you may have, you may think it's good, but when you get much better, then your perspective changes. That's what I did when I first read the ebook. I read the ebook 3 months before I joined the academy. I tested it on the Skype girl, which is what most of my EM reports are.
So we need a lot of dissatisfied relationships.
Yeah.
We need people who Because there's going to be obviously people who are delusional, or people who are just going to outright lie about things. So we're gonna take that into account. That's a variable. Then we're gonna obviously, if relationships aren't working, there's got to be a lot of dissatisfaction out there. So we got to find a lot of guys who are not getting their needs met in their relationships, whether it be peer relationships, friendship relationships, or with girls, romantic relationships. They have to be out there. You are proof of the ebook. You are evidence for the ebook. Your experience right now, your poor experience, your poor social experience, supports the conclusions in the ebook. If you guys were all doing handy dandy, there would be no need for the academy. The ebook would be wrong. It would be easily discounted. So don't underestimate your contribution, even the way you fail. You think, I'm such a loser, right? I'm so shy, I can't do this, I can't do that. These things verify what we're talking about in the ebook. Shy Willie, your one-word answers verify what we're talking about in the ebook. MFer, your stone countenance verifies what we talk about in the ebook. Zenik, your realizations that you're having in your in your expectation, in your expression thread, the changes you're having in the way you're approaching socialization verify the things we're talking about in the ebook. Travo, your change from high-pitch fag to low-pitch black man are verifying the things we're talking about in the ebook.
The Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah.
DBP, your experiences with girls online, even though they're online experiences, they're still verifying social interaction, the things we're talking about in the ebook. Boggles, you trying to bang this Indian chick, verifying the things we're talking about in the ebook.
Yep. I just need to get a room now.
Paper,
So,
your social experiences verify the things we're talking about in the ebook. Mr. Care Bear, your social incompetence verifies the things we're talking about in the ebook. Are you there, Mr. Care Bear? I guess not.
Yes, I have my.
Oh, he's here. Welcome.
Yes, I am.
Welcome
Hello.
to the academy.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. I was listening to your judgment about me.
As I said before, and you have just verified, your social incompetence verifies what we're talking about in the ebook.
Good.
Yes, it is good. So do not discount your contribution. Do not discount your ability to be a scientist. Don't take it for granted that everybody else is a scientist and you aren't. This is the same attitude you need to bring to your social interaction. Don't just say, well, there's a few handful of guys who are leading the academy. There's Torero. He's contacting people. He's making the scheduling group happen. I'll just let the scheduling group happen to me. Other people are more competent than me. I don't need to bother with it. This is the wrong attitude to become a socially competent person. Shy Willie. It behooves you, Shy Willie, to not sit back and rely on one-word answers just because Boggles or Paperclip can talk for a mile a minute. Your social competence or incompetence affects the academy. Mr. Care Bear, your social competence or incompetence affects the academy. You are an integral part. You may not be a head, but you are a pinky. Think of what happens when you cut off your pinky. What happens when I chop off your pinky right now, Zenik?
It hurts.
What happens to the rest of the body? How are you throughout the rest of the day? It's just like an isolated pinky incident, right? I just chop off your finger, the rest of your body isn't affected, right? It just goes to work, you don't even think about it, right?
No, the rest of my body is affected.
Exactly. Even with a little pinky chopped off, your whole body's in pain. Your whole body is affected. Your ability to work is affected. Your ability to socialize is affected. So everything affects everything. In the social community, Shy Willie, if everybody's talking, imagine this. If everybody in this room was socially competent, except Shy Willie, and we're all having a good time talking, and Shy Willie's just like there, sitting, do you think he'd affect us?
Yeah.
Why?
You'll be concerned.
Yeah, I would be concerned. I would be having a good time with you guys, but guess what? The sore thumb would stick out to me. Like, I wouldn't be concentrating on all of us being socially competent, having a good time. I'd be focused on Shy Willie not having a good time and sitting there. He would be affecting me. He'd be affecting my empathy, my sympathy, my, I'd be wondering what's going on. It would concern me. It would affect my ability to socialize while he was here. Do not
I get the same thing when I'm
underestimate.
talking with, I get the same thing when I'm talking with Zenek and Big L. Usually, because I don't want to talk to Big L, I just talk to Zenek back and forth. And even though me and him are having a good time, it's much more fun when Big L leaves, just because because I'm focused on him. I'm focused on.
Yes, the same thing happens. Like when Big L comes to class, he's not paying attention or whatever thing he's doing to distract me. It affects me. Same when Boggles is calling out answers when I've got a train of thought going and he interrupts it. It affects me. All these little things affect me. So everybody here has an effect on everybody else. Your social competence or incompetence affects everybody, not just you. Even if you're not in the same state, in the same country, even if we don't regularly socialize, like when we hang up in the class call is over, you guys will go about your lives, your social competence or incompetence will eventually reach me. Just like that butterfly's wings, you've heard about the butterfly flapping in China and it affects us over here. Yes, it's just like science.
Wait, no, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't.
Think of it this way. When you drop a pebble in a pond in the center of a huge lake, like Lake Erie or something that's miles across, and you're on the other side you're on the very edge of the river, and I drop a little tiny pebble into the pond, is that ripple going to reach you? Is that pebble going to affect you?
Eventually.
Is it? Travo?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because
Zenek?
I don't know why, but it does.
He just has faith it does.
Well, everything affects everything, so if you drop a tiny little pebble at the other end of this lake or something, eventually in some way it's going to affect me.
It's a law. It's like a law of physics, right? For every action, equal opposite reaction.
Yeah. There has to be balance in the universe.
Yeah, there's like some kind of law that states if I do something here, it's going to cause an effect over there. That law, the universal law, is not only effective in the physical realm, it's effective in the psychological realm as well. Laws are universal in nature. They don't just apply in one realm. They apply everywhere. So let me ask you, what is a scientific fact, Travo?
Are you asking for an example? Or
No, I'm asking what is a scientific fact?
Scientific fact.
What is a science fact?
It is a fact that cannot be disproven. What? Maybe.
Shy Willie, what's a scientific fact? Or what's a science fact?
It's a law that is universal in nature.
MFer, what's a science fact or scientific fact?
It's a conclusion derived
Zenek,
from...
what's a science fact or scientific fact?
I don't know.
Paperclip, what's a science fact or scientific fact?
It is a conclusion that has been...
Mr. Care Bear, what's a science fact or a scientific fact?
It's an idea that...
DVP, what's a science fact or a scientific fact?
Something that can be proven through experience.
What's a science fact or a scientific fact, Boggles?
It's a fact derived from a process...
Everybody's wrong here. Does anybody want to take a second guess?
I'll take a second guess.
Travel, what's a science fact or scientific fact?
It's nothing. It's not a real thing.
Yes. Why is it not a real thing?
Because science isn't a thing. It's not...
Yeah, there's no such thing as a scientific fact. There's a fact, but it's not scientific in nature. Is the sun yellow in color if we look out our window?
Yes.
It's a fact, right?
Yeah.
We look out there, it's factual. It's not a science fact. What makes it a science fact? Supposedly, Travo.
If it cannot be disproven.
Well, if we can measure it in the the color spectrum, we got our RGB, Roy G. Biv spectrum out, red, yellow, orange, green, blue, blah, blah, blah. And we measure it in the wavelength and we discover, this is yellow to our eyeballs. So therefore we've verified scientifically, quote, quote, that it is yellow. You could do that without the chart. You could look out there and go, that looks yellow to me. That's just as scientific. It may not be as accurate, but it's just as scientific. There is no such thing as a scientific fact. Next time you hear somebody say, hey, bro, that's not true. It's not a scientific fact. I want you to punch them in the vagina or in the penis.
The worst part is when somebody says, science has yet to discover this.
Yes, science has yet to discover. Science doesn't do anything without you. You are the discoverer, not science.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do, MFer, in your college class when your professor says, according to scientific fact, what are you supposed to do when he makes that statement, Effer?
I'm supposed to say scientific facts don't exist.
Wrong. What is he supposed to do, Zenek?
He's supposed to punch him in the vagina.
He's supposed to run up to the podium and punch him right in the vagina after he hears the word scientific fact or science fact leave his mouth.
Yep.
As soon as he hears those syllables in his scientific ears, he's supposed to punch him with his scientific fist.
Yes.
Can you repeat what a scientific fact is again?
What? What are you supposed to do to Paperclip right now, Zenek?
I have to run up, find out where he lives, and punch him in the vagina.
Yes. That's exactly what you have to do to Paperclip. Okay, can we get to this report? We haven't even started. No, I got a report!
To the whole science thing, I come in and we're talking about being science.
We're trying to finish this report, but we can't even get past this.
Amazing sentence.
We're stuck on one sentence. Professor Plum has talked for an hour on one stupid sentence. So what is the moral of the story for this one sentence, Travo? What would you say the moral of the story is?
Be specific.
Be specific and know what terms you're using. Don't just throw terms out there just because they're at the academy. Don't just throw punish, reward like Paperclips. Paperclip has a tendency to just say he learned something about positive incentive or negative incentive, and now all he says is negative incentive, because it's probably a right answer. But know when you're using the terms and why you're using the terms, where they apply. Paperclip, how would you fix this sentence? Unfortunately, this expectation management failed in the end.
Unfortunately, I was not managing my expectations correctly.
Wait, what did you say?
Unfortunately, I was not managing my expectations correctly.
Why did you need to add the word correctly? What if you just said, unfortunately, I was not managing my expectations? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying, unfortunately, I was not managing my expectations?
Well, there are different degrees of being able to manage expectations.
MFer, what's wrong with saying, or no, Shy Willie, what's wrong with saying, unfortunately, I was not managing my expectations? What's wrong with that?
I think it's Mike's
Because he
muted.
was managing his expectations.
I can hear him.
Hold on. Say it again, sorry. He's got a little lag.
Because he was managing his expectations. It's just that he wasn't managing them properly.
Are you ever not managing your expectations, Shy Willie?
No.
Boggles, are you ever not managing your expectations?
No.
No. You're always managing your expectations. So what is the question then, Zenek?
The question is whether you're doing it well or doing it poorly.
Yes. So saying I'm not managing my expectations, I've heard that said a couple times in EM reports or when students are talking about expectation management. I failed to manage my expectations. Well, what's wrong with that sentence?
That means you didn't do it properly.
What does I failed to manage my expectations mean?
Well, it's just a misnomer because you can't not manage your
It means you failed to be a human.
Yeah.
You're always managing your expectations.
It's like saying I failed to breathe.
Yeah. If you own a lemonade stand, Boggles, and you fail to manage your expectations, let's say you open a lemonade stand and you forget to bring lemonade, you bring tacos, you give them all away for free, and you lose all your money. Are you managing your expectations?
No, I'm managing them in a poor manner.
Are you managing your expectations?
Yes.
So did you answer your own question?
Poorly improperly is a better word than saying I failed to manage them. I think I'm understanding that now.
What does it mean to say I failed to manage my expectations?
It means that I think that's inaccurate because you can never not manage your.
Yeah, you can never not. You're always managing you're always trying to get your expectations met. You may be very bad at it, but you're always doing it. Be clear with the ebook terms. Understand why you're using terms. Don't just throw them out haphazardly. I thought I was doing good in the beginning, but I wussed out and I ended up taking it through the rear again. I ended up taking it in the booty again. I'm a little confused as to what happened in this EM report, although I know it was an EM fail, an expectation management fail. All right, he's using the term loosely. I'll allow that if you're going to say EM fail. All right, we kind of know what you mean, but be accurate. When you're making the sentence, be accurate. Queen. So I need a guinea pig. We're learning to do back rubs, and they want me to be a student teacher for it. Okay.
Seems correct sentence.
Stating expectation in a dysfunctional way. Travo?
Am I doing quality control?
No, I'm just going to ask you. We're going to try and get through this. You're just going to answer. Stating expectation in a dysfunctional way. This could sound a lot sexier, and I'd rather be turned on by a girl I'm talking to.
That's Ronnie should basically just say stating expectation. Or no,
Zenek, agree or disagree?
Disagree because it's the girl, and we don't give a shit about her
Yeah, we don't give a shit about her expectation. Travo, are you fucking high? Are you smoking meth? There are no meth smokers allowed in this class. You realize that, right, Travo? Travo,
I thought 18 was queen.
you thought 18 was queen.
Yeah.
Who's 18? What are you talking about, Travo? 18?
18.
The 18.
Oh,
has the
18.
same-
18, not 8. I thought you said 18. Okay, I got you. Right. All right. So he's not queen now. Yes, what would you put there?
Can you put punishing by dysfunctional expectation, or I mean, she's either punishing or rewarding. So
What would you put there, Shy Willie?
I wouldn't put anything.
Boggles, what would you put there?
I'm thinking between anything or punishing with annoying expectation.
DBP, what would you put there?
Nothing.
MFer, what would you put there?
I wouldn't include what she said.
Paper clip.
Rewarding by acceptance.
Why would you say that? Justify your answer. Justify your answer every time.
Okay, so I say she's rewarding by acceptance because she's willing to give him a massage so then she can practice her back massages. But now at the same time, by her giving him a back massage, now they're having physical contact, so that's going more towards a relationship.
DBP, justify your answer.
I'm changing it to punishing by ridicule. I thought she actually said, I didn't read in context. I thought she said, like, I need a guinea pig, but she's calling him the guinea pig. So, punishing by ridicule. I misread that.
Punishing by ridicule. That's good.
But calling someone a guinea pig is not
like,
bad.
Yes, it is. It's like, dude, you're my fucking guinea pig. I guess we don't know how she said it.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to go with punishing
Yeah,
by
I'm
ridicule.
gonna go with DDP.
Okay. Well, I disagree with both of you. I think she's saying it in a nice way. Like, oh, I need a
Yeah,
guinea
know
pig.
that for sure.
Mr. Care Bear.
You guys know either.
Yeah, so either.
Well, he even said
Mr. Care Bear.
Yes, present.
Motherfucker.
So I would put rewarding by approval
Awarding by approval.
because she is responding to him. It's like I mean I didn't read the above paragraph, but just reading this sentence, I think it's a kind of reward.
Kind of a reward, or it is a reward?
It is a reward because she is initiating a conversation with him. It's like giving him incentive.
I'm going to go with Care Bear. I'm going to say this is a reward. I need a guinea pig is not ridicule in the least. It's just saying she wants somebody to practice on. A guinea pig is, what they use in science to practice on. It's not a term of ridicule. She's saying, so I need a guinea pig, which means she needs somebody to practice on. We're learning to do back rubs, so she's offering to give him a back rub. This is no way is ridicule here. She's just saying, I want to practice a back rub on you. He doesn't even state anything about ridicule in the brackets.
Well, when you call somebody a guinea, she clearly doesn't have high regard for him. She's like, I need a guinea pig.
A guinea pig is somebody to practice on.
Alright.
If I need a guinea pig, that means I want somebody to practice on. You know what a guinea pig is used for in experimentation? It's a common animal to experiment on.
It may be a punishment to him. That's why I said
Yeah.
Why would it be a punishment to him?
Well, the way he took it, stating expectation in a dysfunctional way. Sounds more like a punishment than a reward. At least
This could be a lot sexier, is what he's saying. She's stating it like, "Hey, I want to rub you down," which would be more direct, is what he's implying. This guy's not being accurate anyway, but you got to read this. Look, he's saying, "I would like you to say, hey, you're sexy, you're hot, or I like you, and I want to. Can I rub you down?" That's sexier to him. Versus she's saying in a roundabout way, "So I need a guinea pig. Oh, by the way, it's required for me to rub your back, so I'm going to do it." Is that sexy?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Then I think she's still punishing them. Maybe not by ridicule, but she's punishing because he wanted her to say it's sexier. She violated a passive expectation.
Is that a punishment, Travo?
I wouldn't take it as a punishment.
Why not? He's taking it as a punishment.
Because if a girl said she wanted to give me a back rub, then, and first of all, he didn't even state his expectation yet, so how would she know not to...
But it obviously violated his expectation. He says same expectation in a dysfunctional way, so it violated a passive expectation.
She's stating an expectation in a dysfunctional way. Doesn't mean he's It's like saying, hey, DBP, how do you feel about eating? Versus if I say, hey, DBP, I want to go to In-N-Out Burger with you. Is it dysfunctional if I say, hey, DBP, how do you feel about eating?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Is it?
No.
You don't think it's dysfunctional to say, hey, DBP, how do you feel about eating?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I do think it's dysfunctional.
Why?
Because it's very general. It's a very general...
What's my expectation? What is my expectation?
Your expectation is to figure out where I want to go eat.
My expectation is already set. I just told you my expectation. I want to go to In-N-Out Burger with you. So if I say, hey, DVP, how do you feel about eating? Is that dysfunctional?
No.
MFer, if I say, hey, I want to go out to eat, I want to go to In-N-Out Burger with you to go get some food to eat, versus I say, hey, how do you feel about eating? Is that dysfunctional? If I say, how do you feel about eating?
Yes,
Why?
because there's no point to it, there's no goal, and they can be a lot more specific.
Why is it dysfunctional, Zenik?
It's dysfunctional because it's extremely indirect.
Yeah, it's indirect. I'm not stating what do I really want to do? What's my expectation?
Your expectation is to go to In-N-Out Burger with me.
Yeah, but I'm so worried about what you think or if you're going to reject me. Hey, do you want to eat? Do you feel like eating right now? You hungry? You feel like doing something? Right? I haven't even stated my expectation. I'm so roundabout with it. It's indirect. It's dysfunctional. Are you violating my expectation? Or am I violating your expectation by not saying, hey, I want to go out to In-N-Out Burger with you? Am I violating your expectation?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No, I'm just being dysfunctional with my expectation, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand the difference now, DBP?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Why are you being dysfunctional with your expectation?
There's no bearing on you, so it doesn't matter. It only matters if you want me to be more direct. That's one thing, but I'm not violating your expectation just by being indirect or not stating it. Maybe if your expectation is you have a passive expectation that when a girl comes to you, you should be sexy.
He has a passive expectation, so I was reading into it. Okay.
Maybe he wants her to be sexier. She's stating it like, hey, it's required for this class for me to rub your back, versus he wants to hear, I like you, I want you, therefore I want to rub your back. It's two different things, but it's not she's not punishing, she's not trying to punish him. You understand the difference? The difference would be, you're such a loser, I don't want to rub your back. Or there's no way I would ever touch you because you're so gross. That would be a punishment. If she's just indirect with her expectation, because she's like you, she's a fag and she doesn't want to be rejected. So she's saying, class is making me practice rubbing people's backs, and since you're here, I might as well rub your back. That's something you would say. Because you're worried about what?
Offending her.
Yeah, so what is she worried about?
Offending him.
She's worried she'll get what?
Rejected.
So is she trying to punish him? Paperclip?
Nope.
What is she trying to do?
She's trying to avoid rejection.
Yes, but what's she trying to do ultimately?
Reward him.
Yeah, she's trying to suck his cock. Is this clear to you, Boggles?
She's rewarding him, but I don't think she's want to suck his cock. I don't think
She's not doing it in the best way, but if somebody offers you a massage out of the blue, is that a punishment? Would you ever take that as a punishment?
No.
Oh, Boggles, I have to massage somebody for class. Can I massage you? Oh, you're fucking punishing me, bitch. You're not saying it directly. Is that how you take that?
No, okay, no, I take it as a reward.
Fucking
High
Indian.
expectation Boggles.
High expectation balls. Bitch, you don't say that to me. That's fucking insulting. I should stop you right now. How dare you ask me for massage that way? I'm not somebody you play with.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking.
You give me a massage, you state you like me. You don't state it's a requirement. You bitch, you insult me. If your expectations were super high and you're super stuck up and said, how dare she imply that she's required to do it? You should always be thankful to touch me. Then, yes, it would violate your expectations, but you'd have to have an extremely high expectation for that to apply. I'm guessing
A-Team's expectations.
I'm guessing A-Team's not the Sultan of Brunei, so he doesn't have to have that high, or he doesn't have that high expectation. So are you asking me to practice back rubs on? Punishing by ignoring with authority, Zenik?
I don't think it's punishing by ignoring with authority. I think it's, I'm not sure, actually.
Can I take
Mr. Care Bear,
Yes.
how are you?
One or on the next.
What?
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Welcome to class.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I was just
What the
away for a
fuck are
while.
you doing?
Yeah, I was away for a while. I gave you a notice.
Oh, I didn't see. My
So on the left-
apologies,
Yes.
sir. We'll get you in on the
I
next
accept.
one. Thank you for
I
accepting my
accept.
apology. Paperclip.
It's rewarding with attention. No, I mean, no, I wouldn't put anything there.
Why is it so hard to figure out what's going on here, Paperclip?
Well, can you repeat the question?
Why is it so hard to figure out what's going on here?
Because, I don't know.
Why is it so hard to figure out what's going on, DBP?
Because both of these assholes are being indirect.
Yeah, both of them are assholes, are being indirect and asking all these questions when they obviously have a real intention, a real expectation. They're just not being direct with it. They're being assholes, so it's tough for us to figure it out because they're asking in question format. Does he really, is his expectation, are you asking to practice a back rub on me? Is that really his expectation?
No.
What is he really asking? Or what is he telling, or what is he doing? How would you reward that if he wasn't being an asshole, Paperclip?
I would say let's do it.
Boggles. How would you reward that if he's not being an asshole? If he wasn't being an asshole?
I mean, I need to know what he's thinking if he wants.
Yeah, that's the problem. Hey, Travo, how would you reward that if he wasn't being an asshole?
I would say, I'd love to have your hands all over me.
Zenik, how would you reward that? Not reward. Reward that if he wasn't being an asshole.
Yeah.
MFer, how would you reword that if he wasn't being an asshole?
Oh, I got it.
I would say, yes, you can practice on me.
Shy Guy. How would you reward that if he wasn't being an asshole? Shy Willie.
I would say, yes, I'd love to be your guinea pig.
Boggles, how would you reword that if he wasn't being an asshole?
Do you want to give me
DVP, how would you reward that if he wasn't being an asshole?
Next time, ask me directly if you want to give me your back rub.
That's better. Do you understand the difference? Why his answer was better? Why was his answer better?
He made a statement that it exactly said what he wanted.
Yeah, he said, hey, don't ask me that way. You're supposed to ask like this. You're supposed to say, I love talking to you and I want to touch your body. I want to rub you down. That's what he should say. He should say, don't do it that way. Do it this way. Not, is it okay if you, so do you want to back rub me? So you're asking to practice on me? Is that what you want? What would you put in brackets?
So if you want to give me a back rub, just come and give it to me.
What would you put in brackets?
Come on, give it to me.
Zenik, what would you put in brackets?
I put punishing by rejection.
Stating expectation.
What would you put in brackets, Travo?
Stating expectation.
MFer?
I would also say stating expectation.
Paperclip?
I would disagree and say punishing by scolding.
Ooh, controversial. Paperclip?
That was me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Care Bear?
Stating an expectation.
DVP?
DVP. What was it?
Ah, you froze.
Sub-Zero.
He froze, Sub-Zero. Shy Guy?
Stating expectation.
MFer?
Oh no, we have twins.
He's twins.
Oh shit. MFR already answered.
Okay, DVP, what would you say in brackets? What should go there?
DVP.
DVP his twin, his evil twin. DVP,
Sorry, I just came in the things like
what would you say in brackets?
Yes.
What would go in brackets? Not yes.
Hold on. No, I'm lagging, sorry. What would I
Brackets.
put there? I would say, sorry, you asked me to practice back rubs. I would say, indirectly stating expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all stating expectation. I would personally put stop being an asshole and fucking state your expectation, but yeah, stating expectation's fine.
Okay.
Queen, yep. Is that a problem? So she says, yep. So are you asking to practice a back rub on me? Which she answers, yep. Is that a problem? So is it clear what the problem is here? Does everybody see from her answer what the problem is?
No.
Trevor, what's the problem?
She doesn't want to get rejected.
Yeah, isn't it obvious? She says, yep. Is that a problem? Do you have a problem with me rubbing your back?
Oh man.
I thought she was being annoying by saying that, but okay. I see how she's doing it because she doesn't want to be rejected.
Everybody clear on that?
Whose kids are those?
Whose kids? Can somebody take their kids to daycare?
Please excuse, I forgot to mute my mic.
Thank you, sir.
And we have some guests. So
Okay, so mute your mic. All right. Okay. Well, it isn't clear by your indirectness.
He's really good.
Finally.
Finally.
Wait, so what is Queen doing? Is she punishing? Or
I don't know. Let's figure out what goes in brackets here. Trevor, what goes in brackets?
Let's see. Yep, is that a problem?
nothing, I guess.
She's trying to meet his expectations, but I don't know if she's doing exactly what he wants her to do, so I'd say she's, actually I have no idea what to put there.
Zenik, what goes there?
Got it.
Mute. Muty, what goes there?
Who's Beauty?
Muty guy, Zenik, what goes there?
Muted?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Say it again.
Okay. I said I put in rewarding by agreement.
That is the correct answer, rewarding by agreement.
Or even rewarding by justifying, right? She's trying to clarify.
Yeah, same thing. She's rewarding. She's saying yep. When a girl says yes to your, do you want to back rub me? That's a reward. How would that ever be a punishment? She's not doing it the way he wants, but she's not trying to punish him. She's just incompetent. She's just equally incompetent. She's just like you. She's incompetent. She doesn't know how to state her expectation. She's a girl. Me, well, it isn't clear by your indirectness. Oh, ironic.
Finally.
Dating expectation.
DBP?
Punishing by scolding, exactly what it says.
Boggles?
Dating expectation is like, there's not much pain and punishment. It's just like, well, he's just clarifying. It doesn't clear by your indirect expectation.
Travo?
I'm gonna go completely left field here and say rewarding by inappropriate justification.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Zenik?
I'm actually going to agree with DVP here. I want to say punishing by scolding too.
Paper?
I also agree with Zenik and DVP.
MFer?
I agree with punishing by scolding.
Shy Guy?
Punishing by scolding.
That is the correct answer. Punishing by scolding.
Why is it not justifying or clarifying? Well, it wasn't clear. He's just stating expectation to me.
She's trying to justify why she's not meeting his expectation.
Mm-hmm. And he's saying, well, it wasn't clear by your indirectness. Like,
Yes.
I find that
He's an indirect fag. She's punishing him by scolding him. She's not rewarding him.
We're talking about what he's doing right now.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, I'm wrong person. Hold on. Well, it wasn't clear by your indirectness. And you said punishing by scolding. What did I say? Did we say punishing by scolding? Hold on.
Yeah.
Because I thought this was a chick. Hold on. I gotta think now. That's her. I'm thrown for a loop now.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, well, it wasn't clear by your indirectness. So
That sounds like justifying to me.
he's justifying, yeah, he's rewarding by being an asshole.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
The other people who said Travo's a genius.
Yes.
It is rewarding by justification because he's doing what, Zenik?
He's trying to tell her why he didn't understand what she was asking him.
What is he trying to do?
Reason with her.
What is he trying to do?
Date is expectation.
Punish her. He wants to punish
Zenik,
her,
what is
but
he trying to do?
He's trying to...
Look at the brackets. What is he trying to do? DBP, what is he trying to do? Look at the brackets.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, what is he trying to do? MFer, what is he trying to do?
He was trying to punish by
Yeah, he's trying to punish her by scolding. What is he doing?
In the end, he was trying to justify his response.
So what'd you put in the brackets?
So he would be rewarding her.
He's rewarding bad behavior, basically.
Yeah.
I still disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because he's saying that, like you're not being clear with your indirectness.
Yes.
That's him
What is that
rejecting the
called?
feedback.
What is that called when you're going, well, it wasn't clear by your indirectness? What is he doing?
He's reasoning. He's making an
I
excuse.
don't want to say justification.
What is he
I don't wanna
doing when he's saying, well, it wasn't clear by your indirectness? That's a counter-argument. What happens when you're offering a counter-argument? What's that called?
Justifying himself to her.
Or reasoning, either one. So what is justifying or reasoning?
It is
A
rewarding.
reward.
So you got X'd out, son. You're wrong. It is a reward.
So, rewarding by inappropriate justification.
Yes, rewarding by inappropriate justification. Queen, you in? Punishing by ignoring with authority. Zenik, you in, bro?
I would say, actually, I'm not sure about this.
Why are you not sure about this?
Because of it.
Why are you not sure about this? Zenik, wake up.
I don't know.
You don't know why you're not sure?
I'm not sure about this.
Why are you not sure about this, Travo?
I don't know why he's not sure, but I'm sure about it.
Why are you not sure about it? Why is he not sure about it? Why is he having such a difficult time?
Because both of them...
Travo, why is he having such
I
a
don't
difficult
know,
time?
I don't know why he's not sure.
Well, why do you think he's having such a difficult time figuring out what's going on here?
Because it's such a messy report. And
Well, yeah, but what specifically about this line here? You in?
I want to
I don't understand what you're asking.
Why is that? Why is Zenick having such a difficult time understanding that? You in?
Exactly.
Why does he
She's
understand?
not being direct?
Yeah, because she's being an asshole. Just like you're being an asshole, because she's not being direct?
Yeah, she was being an indirect asshole.
What was your answer, Travo?
I was going to say punishing by ignoring
No, I
authority
said,
is
what was
correct.
your answer to the previous question when I asked you about why is Zenick having such a difficult time?
My answer was I don't know.
What was the correct answer, Paperclip?
That they're being indirect with each other.
They're being indirect with each other. They're being assholes, so nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's asking questions. So, do you want to massage me? Is that the way you want to do it? Are you sure you want to ask that way? Are you sure you want the massage? Do you want to get the massage now? Are you ready to ask me the right way?
New guy.
Holy shit. Milton Friedman.
Who's that?
He's,
Who's this guy?
he's Skin.
Again,
Sken, welcome to class, sir.
Good morning.
Oh, I gotta push the are you
Good
still there button. Sken, welcome to class.
Thanks.
Tu hablas inglés?
Yeah.
A native speaker or what?
Hold on, let me get my headphones.
Okay. I can't tell. I think I almost detected a slight accent.
He has a slight accent, but he can speak English.
I thought he's foreign.
Well, his report reads like he's a gangbanger, but I'm trying to figure out if he can speak English or not.
Doesn't look like a gangbanger.
I need to read his report now.
I'm curious.
Not his intro, his matriculation intro.
They're talking about cartels and getting shot at.
No, it just sounds
Kid drinking hot chocolate and it doesn't look gangbanger enough.
okay. Let's see here. Where were we?
At the indirect asshole, that chick.
Yeah.
You in? You in?
Why is he having trouble understanding what goes in the brackets, MFer?
Because it's ambiguous since they're being indirect with each other.
Yeah, they're indirect assholes. We don't know what they're saying because they're being ambiguous with what they're saying. It takes us effort to figure out when people ask or state expectations as questions. It's very difficult to figure that out. That's why Zenick is having trouble.
So the bracket should be rewarding.
If Zenick could just reword that question into a statement and just figure out what the expectation was, he could easily say she's doing what?
Rewarding.
What goes there, Travo?
Where are we?
Do you? What did she say? Do you?
You in?
You in? Sorry,
you
you
in.
in? You in, Travo? What goes there?
I would say what he has there, punishing by ignoring an authority.
Okay. Zenick, what would you say?
Huh?
Zenick, what would you say?
I would say rewarding by. I want to say rewarding.
Why would you say rewarding? Justify your answer.
I want to say rewarding because she's basically still asking if he wants to get it back from her.
Whoa! What are you doing? Oh,
Again,
motherfucker! What are you doing?
I forgot to mute my mic and then I changed my.
Stop
laptop.
forgetting!
So, what?
Stop
Yeah.
forgetting!
Okay.
Scan, welcome to class.
Hey, hi.
Tu hablas inglés?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you say yeah, of course? Okay, let's go, Mr. Yeah, of course. Hold on. Let's go to Mr. Yeah, of course's intro.
Going off on a tangent right now.
Of course I speak English. Let's check out some English
This is a
here.
badass banner. That was a badass banner.
Let's see. Scan, is this your intro right here? Scan,
Yeah.
you ready to read your intro?
I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so can anyone give me some introduction?
Yes, do you have... I'm going to give you instruction right now. I just heard the accent, so the English, yeah, of course, is suspicious now. Matriculation. I want you to go to the matriculation section of the forum
Okay.
and click on your intro.
Hold on.
Why does he have a rooster as his avatar?
That was like the default avatar. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's his default avatar.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead and read the first paragraph.
Hold on. Get in there.
Or you can look on my screen, either one. Hello.
Okay. I grew up in Mexico in a family of 4 brothers, including myself and both my parents. My dad was the only person that got married in his family, and he was a very lousy father. He showed no interest in stuff me and my brothers did.
Whoa.
I enjoyed...
Read that slowly. Read that again. He showed
He
no...
showed no interest in stuff me and my brothers did.
Okay.
I enjoyed the very few times we went camping or did other stuff as family, but the relationship with my dad was always distant. I was the weakest of all my brothers and was constantly picked up by all of them called Marica.
What's picked up? What's picked up?
Um,
You mean picked on?
Picked on, yeah.
Okay? Picked
Let me
on.
write that down. Hold on.
You don't need to correct it right now. We're just going to go through. You're going to have a chance to correct it. That's why I put a little note on there. When I write a response to your post,
What you were saying?
you see on my response right here where it says, go immediately to the expression section and read the 2 grammar threads there. But now that I figured out that you're not a native English speaker, you only need to go to the foreign language grammar thread.
Okay.
Because you will need to work on your grammar. This is what you'll need to start incorporating into your schedule, working on your grammar.
Sure.
Because part of this sounds like a gangbanger right here. There are some subject-verb agreement problems. There are some basic problems with grammar in there that should be fixed. Okay? That's just for basic communication, because when people are reading it and they chronically read all these little grammar errors in there, they're going to not want to read after a while.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. You say that like you understand that. You don't understand that because you're making those errors. If you understood that, you wouldn't be making those errors. So don't tell me, yeah, of course. You need to take care of it. So put that in your schedule. That's number 1. Okay? Number 2, welcome to class.
Okay.
You made it. It gets full at 10, but we only have 9 in here, so we got room for 1 more student. So you made it to class. Typically it's getting full, so when we have class, there might be a lab. And usually we go over your EM reports, which are you managing your expectations. There's that one section with EM reports in there. And there's the expression section, which we're going to go to right after we finish this other EM report we're working on right now, which will work on your ability to communicate your expectations. Did you already put up an EM post? I'm sorry, did you already put up an expression post again?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? I thought I read somebody's. Who did I read that just started that put up an EM post?
It says he only has 1 post.
I know, there was some guy, I thought it was him, but there's another guy that just put up an EM post. Okay, anyway, you're going to need to start an expression thread. You can read a couple expression posts in there. Have you read the ebook yet?
Yeah. I actually have written something already, but I didn't post it because of the grammar mistakes.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now.
Perfect. So we'll look forward to reading that, and we're going to cover some expression posts now, so you'll get some practice in right now.
Good.
Okay, so let's go. Yes.
Go to your Google Plus and click on.
Yeah, I
yes
just
whenever
did.
you're still there.
Yep, I remember. Thank you, sir.
Cool.
All right. Let's see here. Lol, I'm back. Okay, let's get to it. You're in. What should go there? Boggles, you're in. You in?
Rewarding with justification.
Zenik,
I'm going to say rewarding with attention.
MFer,
I'm also going to say rewarding with attention.
Paper,
I agree with rewarding with attention.
Shy Willie,
Oi.
Shy Willie.
Punishing by rejection.
Oh, punishing by rejection, controversial. I like how you don't have any qualms about disagreeing with everybody, Shy Willie. You're hardcore. You're a hardcore man. DBP,
Punishing by ignoring because he's saying what he wants. He's saying it wasn't clear by your indirectness. What he's really saying is, well, be more direct with it. And she's kind of just ignoring it and like brushing it off. So I think it's punishing.
yes, exactly. That is exactly correct. I hope everybody was listening to that.
Good one.
Me, LOL, lol. I'm saying ask me if you can practice back rubs on me. It's cuter. So obviously he just said right there. He just clued you in. You guys were all wrong. Lol, I'm saying, because I'm an asshole and I can't say it directly the first time around, I'm saying you should read my mind and ask me if you can practice back rubs on me. It's cuter. Zenik,
I'm going to agree with the brackets.
I don't know what the
Rewarding by
brackets say. What do the brackets
Rewarding
say?
by teaching and positive association.
Boggles?
Yeah. No, just rewarding by teaching. By leading.
Rewarding by eating?
Rewarding by leading.
Can't understand you with a mouthful of shit.
Rewarding by leading.
Rewarding by eating. Wrong answer. DVP, what is it?
Stating expectation.
He's definitely, I think he's rewarding with a justification. Rewarding with an appropriate justification. And setting an expectation. That's good.
Let's go to the controversial figure in the group, Shy Willie.
I'd say stating expectation.
Stating expectation. A wild card. Wrong, but thank you for playing. MFer?
He's rewarding by apologizing.
Will anybody get it? Paperclip.
He's punishing by scolding because he's telling her what he wanted. He's telling her what he expected her to guess what he was trying to say.
Oh, look at this guy. He's the only guy that graduated from class. Everybody else flunked. Come get your Harvard sweater, Paperclip. Everybody else flunked.
Thank
Yes.
you very much. I want to thank God.
You can't tell that he's punishing because his asshole is saying, lol, ha 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 ha. I'm saying, ask me if you practice back rubs on me. What's wrong with saying, lol? What's wrong with that, Zenik?
He's clarified. I'm saying, ask me if you can practice back rubs on me.
He's laughing at his own expectation, which shows he doesn't care about it.
Yeah, it shows he's an asshole and said, don't pay attention to my punishment. So this is really a reward.
Yeah, it's not a punishment to me.
What did you say? You said rewarding by teaching. You were the wrong reward. Rewarding by eating. You don't even count. You said rewarding by eating.
Leading.
Couldn't understand you. You said rewarding by eating. Your record stands as rewarding by eating. Zenik, what goes in the brackets here?
Punishing by.
It's kind of a. It's, you know what? I'm actually going to say, I'm going to take Paperclip's Harvard sweater back. You're all wrong. It's going to be rewarding by inappropriate justification.
I heard it.
Oh, who said that? Hold on, who said that?
Yeah.
DVP? Okay, I'm going to give you Paperclip's Harvard sweater. You're getting that. It's rewarding by inappropriate justification because it's supposed to be a punishment. Lol, you're supposed to be doing this. It's cuter. He's leading. So you could put two things here because it's broken up into two parts. I would say rewarding by teaching. That part could apply to the second part. But the first part, it's supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to be a scolding kind of, but because he's laughing at his expectation, he's rewarding her. So he's undermining his own expectation. And basically saying, hey, my expectation doesn't matter. Lol. My expectations, they're lol. Queen, can I please practice back rubbing on you? I promise you won't hate it.
She wants him.
Paper? Paper?
Yes.
Yes what? Yes is the wrong answer for the brackets. MFer. MFer.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I'm gonna say that she's rewarding by meeting the expectation.
Shy Willie.
Oh.
I would say rewarding by agreement.
DBP.
Rewarding with acceptance.
Boggles.
Rewarding with praise.
Zenek.
I'll say rewarding with agreement.
Can I please practice back rubbing on you? I promise won't hate it. Your answer was yes, and that's wrong. Let's see. Can I practice back? I'll take rewarding with agreement.
Why not praise?
Why praise?
Because she's want to do something good for him. She's kind of, I mean, it's not
Wanting is not praising.
We should be more
not praise,
specific, though.
She's not like, is she agreeing?
She's saying, can I please practice back rubbing on you? She's, let's see.
He wants to reward him. I don't know how to exactly classify it.
Look.
She said, yeah, attention, I'll accept anything positive, but it's not in the realm of praise.
Okay, rewarding by wanting to do a good act for you.
That's not
Or
a...
rewarding by provision.
No,
Rewarding by
more
agreement.
specific.
Rewarding by...
Provision.
No. You guys are all being too vague.
Consequences? Who's got the chart?
Giving affection.
Giving affection, there you go. Rewarding by affection. Perfect. Queen, okay, now, A-Team. Damn, that's sexy. Yeah, I'd love for you to practice back rubs on me. Zenik?
Rewarding with affection and praise. And last part, I also agree, stating expectation.
When do you want to do it? Okay, stating expectation. Boggles?
Rewarding by praise and affection.
Motherfucker, I can't understand you with food in your mouth. DVP?
Rewarding with praise, affection, and stating expectation. I agree with Zenek.
Yeah.
Shy Willie? Controversial Willie?
I'm gonna agree with everyone else this time.
MFer?
Say rewarding by affection and agreement.
I'm also gonna agree with everyone else.
Paper?
I disagree with everybody.
Uh-oh.
Well, I agree with the fact that he's rewarding with praise by saying, damn, that's sexy, and then rewarding by affection by saying, yes, I love for you to practice back rubs on me. But when he says, when do you want to do it? I mean, I disagree with that expectation because he should be telling her when he wants to do it. You shouldn't be waiting for her.
How would you state that correctly if it was stating an expectation?
I say, come over tonight at 9 o'clock.
So when do you want to do it? Is that still stating an expectation?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's...
Oh, so you got caught.
It's a dysfunctional way of stating it.
Yes, dysfunctional expectation. Queen, cool, I'll bring the lotion. And I have to do a lesson tomorrow, so tonight, but okay, we get the point, alright.
Oh, wow, they've died.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take any more of this lotion. This unromantic talk.
Oh, wait, if he failed?
I don't know. I don't even care. Let's get to the next one. Okay, A-Team, so you see you need to be more direct, and you see where you fucked up, hopefully, when you listen to the podcast. Thank you again for posting your EM report. Okay, let's start with Travo today. Travanator. Oh, Travel's gone. Alright, let's see. Latest post. Okay, it's gonna go DBP, Shy Willie, Controversial Willie, you're after him. MFer. Then Sken, you're after MFer. Paperclip, you're after Sken. Boggles, if you have food in your mouth, you're out of the reading. And then Zenik, and then me.
Oh, by the way, Scan, we do this one sentence at a time, just so you know.
Reading one sentence each. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. I hate this.
I'm trying to pick a subject to write about that is something I have a solid reaction to, but I can't think of one.
I'm trying to pick a subject to write about that is something I have a solid reaction to, but I can't think of one. One more time. Controversial Willie.
I'm trying to pick a subject to write about that is something I have a solid reaction to, but I can't think of one.
I'm trying to pick a subject.
I'm trying to pick a subject.
To write about.
To write about.
That is something I have a solid reaction to.
That is
something.
I have a solid.
That is something.
That is something.
I have a solid reaction to.
I have a solid reaction to.
That was beautiful. But I can't think of one.
But I can't think of one.
Perfect. All right, next.
I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed, and when I write about them, I have to fill in the blank spaces in my reaction with stuff that I just make up.
Read it again. Don't read with marbles in your mouth. And read distinctly each word. I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed, just like your words are not fully formed. Your words are magma spilling all over the place, and nobody can understand what you're saying. Say each word distinctly. Say distinctly.
I feel like...
Say distinctly.
I feel
Say
like...
distinctly.
Distinctly?
Distinctly?
Distinctly.
Distinctly? Is that how you say it? Say distinctly.
Distinctly.
Say distinctly.
Distinctly.
Now, say your words distinctly as you read.
Okay. I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed, and when I write about them, I have to fill in the blank spaces in my reaction.
One more time, and stop running words together like Elvis. I feel like I have a lot of reactions that are not fully formed. I want to write about them. I have to fill the blank spaces. Stop running your words together, Elvis. Let's go.
I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully
I
formed.
feel like your sentence reading is not distinct.
I feel like a lot of my reactions...
I feel like your words are rushing together. I said say each word distinctly.
I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed. And
I feel like your sentence reading is not fully formed. I feel like you should pay attention to my directions and read each word distinctly and stop fucking rushing through them. Do you understand? Yes or no, MFer?
I do understand.
No, you do not. Do you understand?
No, I do not.
Why are you answering at the speed of light so I can't even tell what your answer is?
I don't know.
Speak to me like this, like we are on planet distinction.
Okay, I will.
Thank you. Now read the fucking sentence and be distinct with each of your words.
Okay. I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed.
Now, do not read like Googlebot like this. I did not say to read like that. Just read them distinctly, but still pick up the sentiment, the feeling, the thought of the reader. I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed. And when I write about them, I have to fill in the blank spaces in my reaction with stuff that I just make up off the top of my head. Read it like that.
I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed, and when I write about them, I have to fill in the blank spaces in my reaction with stuff that I just make up off the top of my head.
Now read it at half that speed. One more time.
I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed, and when I write about them, I have to fill in the blank spaces in my reaction with stuff that I just make up off the top of my head.
Yes. A little fast at the end. Too much peer pressure from fucking DVP sighing. You have to fight through his peer pressure and his sighing. Now you have to do it at a fourth of that speed. Hopefully you'll get even more sighing out of him, and you'll think in your mind, fuck DVP, I will read it at the speed I want to read it at.
I feel like a lot of my reactions are not fully formed, and when I write about them, I have to fill in the blank spaces in my reaction with stuff that I just make up off the top of my head.
Way to go. Congratulations on setting your expectations as the foundation that everybody else must follow. Everybody must wait on you. Everybody must conform to your expectation. You must be able to enforce this.
Good job, MRF.
Hit it, Scan.
Yeah. It reminds me of Jurassic Park, where the scientists had to make dinosaurs using only DNA fragments and then use frog DNA to fill in all the gaps.
My reactions are the dinosaurs.
See?
Yeah, see?
Just right there. I felt like I had a partially formed reaction, and I had to do some extra thinking to come up with a comparison of Jurassic Park.
That's what I don't
Boggle's
like.
reading like a 5-year-old kid. Go ahead.
That's what I don't like about doing these expression posts.
It's the extra work I have to put in, thinking of how to fill in all the gaps.
If I were to just write down exactly what I was thinking, it would be a lot easier, but really boring, and nobody would want to read them.
For example, I'd probably end up writing something like this.
Keep going. Shy Willie.
I did.
I feel cold.
I need to put on some socks.
Scan.
I wonder where my socks are.
I hope my mom washed them.
Maybe I should turn the heat up.
If I had to make this enjoyable for other people to read, I'd have to dig deeper into my mind and get under my surface thoughts to get to why I think all of these things.
It's a lot more work than just saying, what's on your mind? Hello, DB.
He's talking.
Next.
Shy Willie.
The stuff I need to say to make this a good expression post is technically still on my mind, but it's buried deep within the core, and it takes an expensive
scientific expedition.
Sorry,
Yeah, okay, we got it. An expensive scientific expedition to pull it out. Okay. What do you think so far, Bogglinator?
I like the post and I can identify with this problem. I feel the exact same way. I mean, if I just told you on my mind, I'd be like, same thing, I'm sitting in my room. I mean, really, it's so much work to go beyond and figure out the deeper thought and stuff, so I can totally identify with the travel, and I kind of like it because you wrote that.
Okay, so you identify, you can relate to what he's writing about. The content is relatable. Okay, Zenik?
I was kind of really focused on MRF's really slow reading.
Yeah, me too. Distracted me.
Yeah, but from the parts that I was focusing on Travel's actual expression post, I thought it was pretty good. I kind of feel this way too, like when I'm trying to write an expression post, I want to kind of fancy up my thoughts to try and make them seem more interesting, right?
You're like a lot of students, especially one of the students who just read. I don't know if you remember this post, but it said, I don't have a lot of cool events to write about or interesting things happening in my life, so I can't make a good expression post. Yeah. Yes, Zenek. Yes. DVP.
I couldn't. I wasn't paying attention to the first paragraph because I was so focused on MRF's reading.
Me too. You got distracted.
Yeah. The second paragraph, when he started talking about, for example, I'd probably end up writing something like, "I feel cold. I need to put on some socks." It's almost when I read that, I feel like he went back in time and was in my brain when I first came here to the academy on my first expression post, and then I started thinking, well, because I've been there now, I don't have to think about reactions. I don't have to think about, would this be cool to say?
Right. It's just training now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking while I'm reading this is, you'll get there, Cramp. You'll get there, Travel.
Okay, Shy Willie.
Yeah, I liked it also because I can relate to it. I feel the same way. I end up thinking about, trying to make analogies or metaphors.
How do I make beautiful, flowery analogies so all the students in Plum will like it?
Yeah.
How do I write a story?
Well, I do that because I want people to relate to what I'm trying to say.
What's the best way to make people relate to what you're trying to say, MFer?
Well, to be detailed and specific.
To be detailed and specific?
To be detailed and specific.
What's your reaction to the post?
I liked it when he said, if I were to just write down exactly what I was thinking, it would be a lot easier, but really boring and nobody would want to read them, because when I'm writing my expression posts, I find that sometimes I'm writing a lot of detail, but it doesn't really necessarily portray my experience, so I can relate to that.
Boggles. Or, let's see, Mr. Carey, are you there? Nope. Paperclip. Why was, oh, you're here?
I am, man.
Hold on.
Is there a
Hold on.
Hello.
There might be a little lag.
Me?
Mr. Care Bear,
Yes.
why was MFer's answer wrong? He said be detailed and specific. Why was his answer wrong?
Because it was wrong.
No, that is not the right answer.
The correct answer is you want to share your thoughts and feelings.
Your personal reactions include your thoughts and your feelings. Yes, being detailed and specific won't help you become interesting. If you tell a detailed and specific story, is that going to be an interesting story?
Well, I mean, too much detail is bad too.
If you read about the flowers and the trees and he describes every micron of the cell structure of the tree, that's a lot of detail. Does that make it interesting? Does that make it relatable? Your personal thoughts and your feelings are what create interest, not the specific details. Your answer's wrong, MFer. How dare you? All right, Mr. Care Bear, what do you think?
Yes, I couldn't hear you.
What did you think about the post?
Yeah, I wasn't here when you were.
Okay,
I
well.
just came here
Okay, thank you,
a
sir.
minute ago.
Boggles, did I ask you already?
You didn't ask me.
Oh, Paper, go ahead.
I didn't like the first paragraph because it's just him talking about not being able to write whatever's on his mind. And, I mean, I've just heard that too many times. That, to me, that was just generic information. It wasn't until the second paragraph when he finally said, he said, if I were just to write down exactly what I was thinking, blah, 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 that's when I'm like, yes, now he's finally cutting to the chase, and I get to finally hear what's on his what he's actually thinking. And he started doing that by saying, I feel cold. I need to put on some socks.
What he says, I hate this. I'm trying to pick a subject to write about that, something I have a solid reaction to, but I can't think of one. That's not his thoughts?
Well, it's just
It's just common to you. You've heard it before.
Yeah, I want to hear more. I want more detailed. If he's going to repeat something I've heard many times, and I expect more detail and his thoughts and feelings about it.
Okay, so you want him to be more specific, a finer degree of his thoughts and his feelings being expressed versus, I just hate this, or I love this. I love this pizza. I hate this pizza. We've heard a million people say, I love this pizza, or I hate this pizza. It's not specific. It doesn't talk about his personal reaction and his experiences in a specific way that just makes him distinct.
Yeah.
Okay, Sken. What'd you think?
I was too focused putting attention on the...
Yes, very distracted.
But I put more attention to the second paragraph, and I think I relate to that because it seems, at least for me, that I'm not used to write about my feelings, about what things...
You're not used to what?
To write about my
You're
feelings.
not used to writing?
To writing about my feelings.
Yes, verb conjugation. You will learn this in your grammar lessons. You are not used to writing about your feelings. Keep going.
About express myself in...
About what? About expressing
myself.
yourself. Yes, ing.
Expressing myself
Yes.
in an internet forum, so I relate to that to be, difficult.
Well, guess what? Paperclip, he speaks Espanol, he speaks Brazilian, he speaks Portuguese. He's going to be able to help you.
Good.
Yo hablo en español.
Zenik, did I ask you already?
Me?
Zenik, did I ask everybody already?
Yeah, you asked me.
Okay, I'm just going to see now. All right, let's see. Do we have time for one? Oh, we got time for one last one. Quickly.
What about your thoughts?
Quickly. Oh, my thoughts. Again, I have the same criticism as Paperclip, that it's very general in the beginning. Like, I hate what he said. Where did I go to? He said, "I hate this. I'm trying to pick a subject." So it's fine for him as a student discovering these things, because these are new thoughts to him. He's thinking about the process of writing an expression post. So this is fine for his personal expression. It's not stimulating to me, because I've read a lot of these types of, this type of focus before, where you're focused on how to write it. So that's not stimulating to me. But the thought process he goes to get there is what stimulates. So I'd like to hear more of that thought process. What I don't get about writing an expression post is the extra work I have to put in thinking of how to fill in all the gaps. If I would just write down exactly what I was thinking, it would be a lot easier. So when he's more candid with his expression, it's easier for me to diagnose where the problems are. Like when he says, I don't know how to, if I just write this, it sounds like a boring story. It's the same thing from a lot of students where they think I have to think up something interesting in content for it to be interesting for you to read. Or you have to think of a cool story to tell. This is the wrong way to approach expressing yourself. The cool story is you. It is not the story. If you can express you first, the story is secondary to that. The interesting story is secondary to that. You can make anything interesting as long as your personal thoughts and your feelings are in there, because nobody else has that. Nobody else can stimulate you the way that, or nobody can stimulate you. How do I say this? You can't be stimulated by somebody else other than your personal experience carries its own unique stimulation. Your brand Bogler, your brand Zenik can't be found by anywhere. It can't be found anywhere else. It's only sold in the Zenik store. Zenik's expression is only sold in the Zenik store. It's a unique clientele, so you have to be able to go there to get that unique expression. Same with Bogler. He has a unique expression. So that unique expression is what you're trying to convey in your writing. Your personal thoughts, your personal reactions, your thoughts and your feelings are the personal reactions that need to be conveyed, not just the information about this or this that makes a cool story, like a good plot device. There's a lot of Hollywood movies, where they have a twist. A lot of characters are trying to do this thing, and then this thing happens here. It's a plot twist, and oh, that's a cool thing. That'll make a cool story. No. If the actors aren't solid, you ever seen a good story idea, and it had just like terrible actors, and it fucked the whole thing up? The reason why it got fucked up is because those actors didn't convey anything that made you care about the story. It could be a great story, but if it's people you don't care about, why do you want to even watch it? Imagine if the Matrix was made by... I was going to say Will Smith. He's the actor I hate the most. Who would... Imagine if the Matrix...
Those emo kids...
Imagine if the Matrix was made by...
shitty actor like Megan Fox.
Yeah,
I would not watch the Matrix.
Imagine if the Megan Fox is the main character in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, whoever else is Wooden as an actor. It wouldn't convey the sentiment of the movie. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't as cool as it was, you wouldn't care. So, again, your personal thoughts and feelings are invaluable to your expression post. Without them, no good. No good. No good. So, this post itself, I thought it did convey his personal reactions, but not to the degree that it stimulated me. I thought it was just it was good. I thought it was good for him to write about, but not ultimately stimulating for me. Not a bad post. It's what I would consider a workman's post, a necessary post. Last one more, quick.
Last question, Manhood.
Yes.
In this podcast, you mentioned that people who write occasionally and they're having problems you discussed. You said you wanted to hear from people who write all the time and still have trouble writing.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it. Let's forget the EM post. Let's go question and answer right now.
I have a question too.
Yes, go ahead. Well, Boggles, let's get to your question. Be more specific.
So since I was not in that podcast, and I was like, well, I'm a guy who kind of writes regularly, and I still have trouble writing.
Why do you have trouble writing?
I mean, I write, but...
How often do you write? Every day?
Close to, but the last 3 days...
Close to? Yeah. Boggles writes... Raise your hand if you think Boggles writes every day. Zenik? You sure? He doesn't write every day?
Yeah.
He doesn't? Or he does?
He doesn't.
Are you sure? Because he says he just said right now he writes every day.
Well, yeah, but I don't see an expression post every day.
Zenik, could you convey a message to Boggles? I have a message for you to give Boggles. Tell him to fuck off and go train. Stop asking these nonsensical questions he asks all the time, and I give him the same fucking answer every single time. Please give them that message.
All right, Boggles, fuck off and go train.
There you go. Simple. All right, next.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So it's earlier when we were covering A-Team's report.
Yes.
Can you remember the very first conversation when the Queen girl said about the Geneva pickaxe and blah blah blah?
Okay, what about it?
And in the bracket he wrote something like conveying his her expectation in a dysfunctional way.
Right, at the very beginning.
And then you asked a question like, do we care about this? And the other student said, we don't care about the girl's expectation.
Right.
He said it's right. But I thought it was only we don't care about whether they are justification.
Why don't you answer that, paperclip?
When writing an EM report, you don't care about the other person's expectation.
When it's the girl, when we were talking about the girl, and he said she just stated her he said she stated her expectation in a dysfunctional way. Why don't we care about her expectation?
Because we're only worried about getting our expectations met.
What do we care about her in relation to us?
Whether she's we only care about whether she's punishing or rewarding us.
Yeah, whether she's meeting or not meeting our expectation. Okay. So what else?
So this is true. So this is true generally, not just when writing a EM report.
True in general?
The mindset. I mean, in a interaction.
In the interaction?
So
well, yes, you definitely care about her expectation in the interaction.
Yeah, that's
but in the EM report, when you're reporting
because,
about meeting or not meeting your expectations, it's your report.
Okay, so my question was whether it is only true when writing an...
Yes, it only applies to the EM report. In real life, you do care about the other person's expectation because you have to determine whether your expectation is functional or not. For instance, if your expectation is for her to jump off a cliff, that's your expectation, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But is it functional?
No.
No, it's not functional, so you're going to have a problem enforcing that. You might have to push her off the cliff yourself. Or most likely she's not going to jump. So there's going to be a problem getting that expectation met, which is going to expose either you don't have the right expectation or you're not punishing or rewarding enough. One or the other.
But that was my expectation, right?
That was your expectation. Now we know her expectation is probably to not jump off the cliff.
Yeah, so when I heard that, I thought it was true in a real life interaction.
No, when we talk about it, it's always in relation to the EM reports. It's obviously not in relation to real life because we talk about people having functional or dysfunctional expectations. That means everybody, especially when you have to get people's expectations met in a relationship. You have to meet their needs. Obviously, you have to care about their expectations because you have to direct their expectations.
Yes, the expectations are based on needs.
Yes,
and
so you must direct.
I have to meet other people's needs.
If they have bad expectations, you have to get rid of them, and you have to give them good expectations to have. So yes, you need to care about their expectations in real life, but for the purpose of your EM report, not necessary to mention.
Okay, it's all clear now.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Thank you, students, for joining us. It was a wonderful podcast.